What's up, Nerdles, and welcome to the first and very much acclaimed Nerdle content reaction stream. I wanted to do these for a couple of reasons. First of all, because I know our community, our Nerdles, have a ton of talents and you guys showcase them online in a variety of ways. So I wanted to learn from those things. I wanted to see those things and be impressed by them like I know I will be. And also to use our platform to help you guys get out there in some way. It's just a way that I can give back to you for supporting Nurture, especially when you guys are coming out and listening to our songs thousands of times just to help us meet our goal like you did with our last single, Heart and Panic. So if you're watching and you want to see some of this content back again later, I'm going to put a playlist in the description down below that will have the YouTube videos that we watched today. And if you want to listen to the audio that we're going to be listening to that comes from Nerdles, then you're going to have to join our Discord, which is also linked in the description down below. And being part of our Discord means that you can also be featured in the next Nerdle content reaction stream. So that's just another bonus to be in there. It's a place for you to share your content, for me to learn from it, and for our listeners to meet you and to get to know you and your content that might be relevant to them. We're mostly like noodly, twinkly math rock players, but I know we like all sorts of stuff like video games and anime and pretty much everything. We're going to kick this off with a video from Yvin Splash. And there's going to be a lot of mispronunciations and saying names wrong throughout this entire thing. This video has been in our Nerdle content channel for a while, and this is the first time I'm getting to hear it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm expecting some guitar. It's hard to kind of make any assumptions based on the album art, but I'm assuming it's going to be some pretty good guitar because that's generally what our community is all about. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of got like a Twin Peaks chill sort of summer vibe to it. This is sweet. I wonder if that's some kind of like bass line down below. Are you playing like a bass or something too? Oh, these really chill noodly parts are reminding me of those university house parties when you're surrounded by all these incredibly cool people and you feel like they're too cool for you to be hanging out with them. Wow, it's super appropriate. It just started raining outside and it totally goes along with this vibe, just saying. Oh, this ending. Oh my God, it is doing stuff to me. Holy frig. All right, so that was Field Walking by Yin Splash, and like, oh my goodness, that build at the end. I feel like that's one of those things that we come around to as guitarists and as recording musicians while we're just noodling around, and it often gets lost at the end of the process, or it gets lost if you're doing like a mass-produced songwriting process of some kind, and that's sad because those moments are so beautiful, and like those harmonies that you're building, like you can tell that it's really in the moment and it's from feel, and you can't tell how many guitars are going on and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like those parts are looked down upon as being overproduced, but I love those moments. It's so atmospheric and soothing and calm. And like I said, it just started raining outside a little bit. Like it was a perfect moment, like just a great little vibe. So yeah, thank you, Yin Splash, for submitting that. It sounded great. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. I subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I recommend if you guys are watching this that you should too. Remember, you can get that playlist down below for all the videos that we're going to watch today. All right, so next we've got a tune from Blue Orphan. They're a guitarist that I discovered through a Bandcamp EP that they put out while I was curating for our flagship playlist, Math Rock Power Couples, that's updated weekly with new excellent math rock duos. Blue Orphan's record was self-produced, so I couldn't add it to the playlist, but I reached out to them because of how much I liked it. It was based around Final Fantasy. I think the MMO RPG Final Fantasy, I think that's 11 or 13, one of those two. But it sounded so much like Nobuo Uematsu, but it had this really cool and great math rock vibe on the back end, kind of reminiscent of like Chon and those prog heavy math rock artists. So we're going to listen to one of Blue Orphan's. I think this is just like a riff, like an idea, and I expect it to just be like shreddy and so fun. Yeah, so here is a riff that Blue Orphan shared in our Discord. It's just an MP3, so if you want to listen to it, you can't find it on YouTube. You'll have to join our Discord and go to the Nerdle content channel to find it. Blue Orphan's always posting ideas in there, so yeah, great place to find cool music like this to listen to. Yeah, you can tell that those melodies are still like straight out of a JRPG, but like, oh, those like biting bits and the solo-y parts. Oh yeah, like this. Woo. Oh, now he's starting to layer it up and get it going on multiple channels. Yes, that's sick. Oh, now it's getting really busy. Like sometimes I get overwhelmed by busy music like this, but like I'm into it. I'm rocking with it. All right, I am not surprised that I really enjoyed that. I almost always enjoy everything Blue Orphan posts. Like I said, it got a little bit busy towards the end. There's a lot of layers jumping in over top of one another, and sometimes that can get overwhelming for me, and I don't like it, but that's more in the context of when there's already a lot of instruments going on. Here, it was just like sick. I really enjoyed it. It didn't ask too much of me as the listener, I could still pay attention to the individual parts and how they were going together. You had little harmonies darting in and out when it was necessary. I don't know how much you thought through that, but it definitely ended up doing a really cool thing, creating a really cool effect. So thanks again for sharing, Blue Orphan. You know I love your stuff, and I can't wait for your next release. All right, so next up we have this release from Tricot Fan. Their username is already different in our Discord, but they're a noise artist, so they do kind of the noisier side, less rhythmic, less melodic than some music, but I find that they still have a lot of sensibility about it, so they're not asking too much of us as a listener. They still want you to enjoy all the ear candy that's happening in their soundscapes, and that's happening in this one. There's like that beautiful sludgy layer that's kind of doing a bass line in sort of an EDM kind of way, even though you can tell it's being played by guitar. And now we're starting to bop. We're doing like a little dance thing. Oh yeah, you know they're grooving. When we were doing our Discord tour, Tricot Fan had this disco ball going in the background whenever they would come on camera. It was the best. It was sick. I always find those times really fun when we were just hanging out after those shows and you guys were making noise music. It wasn't really like this. I think it was a lot less rhythmic than this, but it definitely still had that grimy grunginess on the back end, and Tricot Fan definitely had the wild strobes going on. So they've actually got their whole record here. If you go and check out the playlist down below and you skip to the Tricot Fan stuff, or in this one it's called Fluorescence 3, and it's got a bunch of Japanese characters, so that's how you'll know you're in the right place. You can actually listen to this whole thing, which is this really cool soundscapey kind of adventurous piece. I'm just gonna listen to this tune for the purposes of this reaction video, but yeah, as always, Tricot Fan, I love it. You're not doing too much with me with the noise, and I appreciate that a lot. You're just letting me have a good time kind of experiencing this sort of chaotic stuff and bringing that drum back in, get me dancing again. Oh yeah. So thanks, man. It's tight as usual. And like, I should say that I'm so grateful for our community introducing me to this style of music, because people in the math rock or kind of like the art music world were talking about noise a lot more often, and I felt really out of depth. Like, I didn't understand what people were talking about in terms of noise rock music. And you guys are really exposing me to what it is and what it means to enjoy it and what it's all about. And actually, I'm filming this on Saturday, and tonight, Lily, one of the members of our Discord, is going to be throwing a noise show on the Discord server. So we have a venue there. So if you're in a group and you're watching this and you're not in the Discord and you want to play a show sometime, we'd love to have you. We have a little venue where just on a random Saturday night, you can come in and play to our 100 some odd members, whoever decides to show up. But yeah, Lily's doing a noise show tonight, and I found them really fun to come hang out because it's one of the most collaborative forms of music I've ever seen, because the barrier to entry is so low, and I love that. All right, next we're going to listen to a piece from Lugosi, and Lugosi is another member of our Discord, of course, because they're on the Nerdle Content Reaction stream. I met them because they own a Terra Mellos fan server, and they came into our server looking for people who are also interested in Terra Mellos. I'm a huge Terra Mellos fan, so it's no surprise that we're getting along great. They're always trying to come out to live streams. They're an incredibly supportive community member, and I forgot, as they were mentioning other bands and influences that they had, that they ever liked Terra Mellos, but when they showed me this one, it totally renewed my awareness that Terra Mellos was their touchstone. So let's listen to this one by Lugosi and have a little chat about it while we listen. Yeah, hitting us with that soundscape right away. It's almost like Snake Lake by Terra Mellos is what it reminds me of most. So that's like, you know, that's immediately where it's taking me, and I love that. And like, I really respect what's going on with their synths, because, you know, like, it's really difficult to manipulate and program synths to be doing a thing that you want it to do. And so to know that they're so early in their music career and they already have so much sensibility about what they want synthesizers to do, it's just really impressive. So I love that you're doing that. That's sweet. I also think it's really cool that you're leaning into the soothing vibe and you're not trying to make your acoustic drums sound real. So just because you're like leaning into the fact that they're synthesized drums, it kind of adds to the soothing, calming nature of it. Like, you're not even asking us to draw that parallel between the percussive sounds we're hearing and a real drum kit. It's just happening, which is really nice. Yeah, so rad, Lugosi. I love what you're doing. I really hope that this grows into a bigger project for you. You can tell that there's a lot of passion behind it, and that this is a major creative outlet for you, and that it really is. You can tell that this is doing something for you, and I like that a lot. It feels almost like it's some kind of catharsis, or that you feel really good about what you're putting down on the track. It's hard to get that across. I feel like a lot of music can sound labored, but this sounds well thought out while still at the same time sounding like you really care about it. And I love that. All right, next up is Green Room. So I think this is Chivez, who's also General So Chicken, or Tao Chicken. I'm gonna say that wrong. See, we're doing the name thing again. That's their username on Instagram, and they're Chivez in our Discord. And this is a group that I think they're working with if it's not a solo project. I know they're on Bandcamp as Green Room room as well. And this is their song Christmas Liquor. Funny that the like to dislike ratio, I think there was 2 likes when I got here and 1 dislike. So you should go show this song some love, because why has someone disliked this little, thought that she does is put up that I think is pretty nice. So yeah, let's have a listen and get a little deeper into it. I think I just saw some clips of Bill Nye. Did you guys see Bill Nye? What is going on? Am I being brainwashed right now? Oh my dear. What is happening? Who was that? Pamela Anderson? What? Oh, some ocean themes. Feel a little bit more at home now, thank God. What? Was that Luke Skywalker doing something like suggestive? What even is this? I'm very uncomfortable, Shivez. I totally understand where the dislike came from now. Is that Mario? Sailor Moon? Oh God, is the 90s like a nostalgic thing now? Is that why all this is happening? Is this like vaporwave using 90s imagery? Has my childhood become your slightly disturbing meme with a really nice song behind it? Yeah, and that spoken word at the end is really interesting too. I like that. Nice way to end it. Yeah, so this tune, really interesting. It was nice and laid back. It had kind of like, again, that Twin Peaks sort of like lo-fi vibe, lo-fi emo type mopiness going on. The spoken word at the end is really nice. I find it's really difficult to end a song, and often I'll strip back elements until there's nothing left. But the fact that you like added a spoken word vocal on top of it to add some variation to close out the song, I think that's really, really interesting, really smart. That you just added an element to add some interest to the end of the song. That's really interesting. I don't hear that a lot. Also, you used the acoustic guitar in a percussive way, so I don't know if there were sample drums going on. I couldn't really hear them through the lead and the acoustic guitar. But I like that the acoustic guitar was lending itself rhythmically while it was playing the chords. So it's kind of doing double duty, which you have to do when you have really limited resources. You got to try to do a lot with what few layers you're laying down. So I think that was really cool. Made some smart choices in there, and I hope to hear more from you. And I think we are going to hear more from you very shortly. First, we're going to dip back into Lugosi Land and listen to a second submission that they made just recently, knowing that this new Nerdle content reaction stream is going to come up. So this was made specifically for this session of Nerdle content, I think. So I'm really interested to see what Lugosi came up with just for us here. It feels like this is that scary underwater level that I like pretty likely skip over in any action adventure RPG. Okay, we're starting to get into it now. The percussion helps me a little bit. It makes me a little less scared. Oh yeah, we're grooving now. Oh, that's tight. Some trap drums are happening. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. Like you're not just letting it happen for a set number of triplets like you'd expect towards the end of a bar. You almost get like Matthew with your trapness. Ooh, this part's a little sneaky. And some rogue vibes. I like how conscious you guys are of parts, that you don't repeat things very often, and definitely not for no reason. I love that. I really respect that. Oh, those neat like whisper vocals. Oh man, that is so cool how you started chopping up and segmenting the vocals at the end of it to kind of like give us a sense that things are ramping up, and then you just pulled it shut. I know that the Mars Volta does that sometimes when they're approaching a change in their tracks. I loved it back then, and I think it's really cool here too. Yeah, this is really, really cool. I think the parts could kind of like musically stand out from one another a little bit more. I think that would help me enjoy it if I could kind of pick out what was going on in the different areas. But I think on a second or third listen, I would really be able to understand it, because I can hear distinctly like the bass and the hi-hats and the percussion. Like you can tell what you're going for, but I think it would be cool to have a little bit more space in the mix, like do a little bit more panning with your percussion and stuff like that. But yeah, no, still a really, really cool song. And like I said, the sensibility about the parts and not repeating a ton was ace, man. That was sweet. Do I say that now? Is that was ace a thing that I say? All right, so this one is gonna be nuts. This is the most recent cover from Simmerin. Simmerin is a guitarist, and maybe you're a multi-instrumentalist actually. I always saw the drum kit in the background. I know you said you messed around on that, but they also stream themselves learning these incredibly complicated songs, and we have a notification set up in our Discord so that whenever Simmerin goes live, a notification will come into the Nerdle content channel to let you know that you can go watch them learn something incredibly impressive like this. This is an Invalid song. I'm very, very inspired by Pete Davis, who is the guitar player from Invalid. So I know that Simmerin is about to do some insanely acrobatic stuff. And like I said, I really recommend you go watch these videos. You can see them on the playlist that I've linked in the description down below. Oh yeah, you know it's groovy. Look at you shaking that head like that, knowing that it's sick. What, man? Come on, dude. Oh, these really weird dissonant, like almost atonal parts are so sweet. And I think I like these parts even more than those other crazy, like really fast legato parts, because the way that Pete plays this constant, just sort of barrage of music while they're switching between chords with one hand and tapping with the other, and it's still delicate and gentle. I don't know, it's just really dope. But the other guitarist in Invalids, Brock Benzel, is also one of my favorite musicians, and like it totally makes sense that Invalids would be one of my favorite bands. Pete being one of my favorite just performers in general, and Brock being one of of my favorite guitarists. And here's Simmerin is just making it look easy. I think, are you like adjusting your volume knob in this part? That's really, really neat. Doing those finger picks and then like just letting it kind of bleed in a little bit. Oh, I love that little call and answer part there with the chords sliding up and down. Yeah, that is so, so cool. Oh yeah, and that's right. He one took the whole friggin' thing. How do you do this in one take? I couldn't do that in 300 takes, Simmerin. That is crazy, man. That is so friggin' crazy. Holy crap, dude. Congrats. That is phenomenal, dude. Yeah, so Pete Davis, incredible guitar player. I was talking earlier about how I liked it when parts didn't repeat very often, and we can see here that like we're all very much cut from the same inspirational cloth because Pete is almost never repeating parts. Our music is increasingly becoming less repetitive, and I know Simmerin likes music that isn't intrinsically repetitive. I see you play Dream Theater all the time, Simmerin. It would be cool to know what you find more difficult to learn, or if you just enjoy learning this style of music more, and that's why you're learning these songs more often. I think that would be really interesting to know. But of course, this was insane, a Herculean task, and you totally nailed it. So congratulations, man. All right, next up, we got another one from Chavez. Hopefully, because this is an MP3, they won't somehow manage to make some kind of like jilting visual presentation about it, but who knows? They might be able to hack my VLC somehow. I'm not super technologically illiterate. Chavez could have hacked me, and he's gonna give me a fright now, so be prepared that this could include frightening parts. Yeah, I love it, man. You really have a way of making these like dreamy lo-fi tunes. It's really sweet. I feel like you're one of those, like, you know, Mikey, who is one of our Discord members and they sings in Even the Trees, that post-hardcore band. I feel like if you got his vocals on something like this, that Johnny Craig style, just like, you know, moany R&B, like sexy type vocal, I feel like, you know, I feel like that would make this just like pop right off the page. It's still really amazing. But yeah, it's like I want to hear that hot vocal happen. I'm all about hot vocals, you know. Really interesting choices for your complementary chords too. It's like you can tell that you're choosing things that are just high enough to complement the lower acoustic guitar. I really, really like that interplay. That's interesting. And I feel like you don't often hear this where the acoustic guitar and the electric guitar are so evenly balanced. Usually it's like an acoustic guitar beefing up a part and just kind of like hanging out in the background while the punking electric guitars still stay very forward. So I like that you've taken this from the Indian folk world and kind of made it a little bit more Midwest emo. That's neat. Yeah, very cool, man. You guys are just like mope gods out here doing this really cool, like kind of, you know, sad shoegaze in the sense that like a low self-esteem looking at your shoes, like kind of kicking dirt around kind of vibe, but not shoegaze in the sense that there's a lot of effects pedals, although you do some really cool stuff with reverb and delay. But yeah, really awesome, man. And I think it'd be so interesting to hear like a collaboration between you and Mikey, like get some soaring vocals over top of that. But that might not be what you're going for, and it stands alone as an interesting piece anyway, especially with the way the acoustic and the electric are playing against one another. So that's really sweet. Thanks again for sharing your riffs with us, Chavez. And I know that you should definitely check out their Instagram. Sometimes they even post their Instagram posts in Nerdle content, because I know they're always putting riffs up there too. So if you want to get inspired by what they're doing and maybe collaborate with them somehow, then that might be a good place to reach out to them. All right, here it is, what I consider to be pretty much the main event. It's Shane McBride doing a cover of Heart and Panic just a week after it was released. You could play the whole tune, which I'm so impressed by. I'm so grateful that you think so much of us that you would spend that much time learning this tune. And I know you're working on the vocals too. And there's a funny story between Shane and I. They were the first person to reach out to me when our Instagram was only like 2 or 3 months old. They had learned how to play our song Tactical Terry, and I kind of goaded them and said, okay, well, where's the vocals? Like, let's see the vocals happen next time. And lo and behold, they went and learned the vocals and sent me the cover of it. And I was hoping to be able to post it somewhere or do something with it, but they're just continuing on making more content like that. And I'm so grateful to have somebody like that in our universe. It was funny. I always worry that like these parts are too easy. You ever just get in a bubble where you're like I'm pretty certain I'm fairly good at guitar, but I always wondered, I was like, are these parts actually difficult? And they look like they're somewhat hard, but I know Shane is also a very, very talented guitar player, so it's still hard to judge. If you want to hear the full version of this song, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got the official audio right on our channel page. Plus, we're going to have a full guitar lesson, which Shane used to help him learn this song, coming out on our channel in just a couple weeks. Nailing that math rock part like it's nothing. I think this is my favorite part coming up. I know you will love me, Shane. I know you will love me after this. I'll love you after this. This is the part during our live streams where I always make eye contact, and Shane and Mel and Rob and Febreze always give me crap for just like giving them eye contact. And sometimes I make fun of them like they did something wrong and deserve to be stared at by me and made uncomfortable. But really, I would just hear that it's a good idea to make eye contact with your audience and make it a more personal experience. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing it, guys. I wonder if Shane's going to yell here, because there's a big yell. Oh, the anticipation. Nah, but there's still that huge stretch. Nailing it, man. I love that guitar too. Frig, yes, man. And I'm so grateful, Shane, that you taught me that minor ninth chords are in this song, because I didn't know what they were called and I use them all the time. I'm pretty sure minor ninth chords are a massive part of my repertoire, so that's going to be very helpful for telling people how to play my songs in the future. You did such a great job. It takes me so long to learn these songs, and to know how close you are to a perfect run after just a week is like so humbling. So yeah, thanks, man. That's really, really sick. And thanks for buying our shirt and wearing it like this and promoting us in a cover video on your YouTube channel. Like, seriously, having people like you in our community that support us and share your content with us like this, it means the world to me. So thank you so much. And thank everybody for sticking around and watching this video. I really appreciate it. Having a channel for you guys to share your content with us so that I can learn from it and appreciate what you're doing is massive for me. And thank you for everything you post. You post stuff all the time, and I love that. Please, if you're watching this and you would like some of your content to be reviewed on the next one, make sure you click on the invite link for our Discord in the description down below and share your content to #NerdleContent. We would love to have our community see what you're up to. Thanks again, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. And if there's any parts of it that you really did like or really didn't like, it's a brand new thing, and I want to make this as good as possible for you. So make sure you leave any comments about what you think could be better or what you think can be included next time in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much. I had a lot of fun doing this today, and I can't wait to do it again soon. Oh yeah, you know it's groovy. Look at you shaking that head like that, knowing that it's sick. What, man? Come on, dude.